What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update and third stimulus package updates. We have a big headline going out today that the Senate might be changing who qualifies for the $1,400 stimulus checks. We're going to go over that today in case you've seen that, as well as the anonymous source that gave us some information about the minimum wage provision being changed in the third stimulus package. Also, as you probably know if you've been following along, the $15 an hour minimum wage is basically the only thing holding us up from you receiving the $1,400 stimulus check that are in this package. $1,400 for children also, as well as $1,400 for adult dependents and college student dependents, although that check will go to the person who claims them as a dependent, similar to a parent who claims a child as a dependent. And there's $3,000 to $3,600 child stimulus checks that are an increase of the child income tax credit that is in addition to the $1,400. There's also over $30 billion in mortgage assistance, rental assistance, property tax assistance, utility assistance. There's an increase for SNAP, WIC, and EBT by 15% for several months, as well as an increase of unemployment extension to $400 per week going to the end of August. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. I will keep you updated on this. And right after they pass this package, we're expecting to have a big push on the $10,000 of student loan forgiveness and possibly the $200 per month Social Security increase that Joe Biden campaigned on, along with some other increases of Social Security in there as well. And the next stimulus package coming after that, that has already been announced, called the Build Back Better package, which is expected to be $2 to $3 trillion and will be the largest one yet. Don't forget to hit the like button for us down below, and let's jump right in. Okay, first up, I want to briefly cover how to get additional kind of stimulus aid or FEMA aid after the Texas winter storms. If this applied to you in Texas or any of the surrounding states possibly. And this is also good information to know going forward for any type of natural disaster, hurricanes, earthquakes, winter storms, anything like that that may affect you and your state or your family in the near future. Actually, a viewer of this channel, Unforgiven774, hooked me up with this article, and it's good to know because it may just help you or a family member out. As you can see here, Texans impacted by the recent severe winter storm can apply online to receive assistance through FEMA. Over 100 Texas counties have been approved for federal aid under President Joe Biden's Major Disaster Declaration for Individual Assistance. A FEMA spokesperson says those impacted by the winter storm must contact their insurance company first to begin the recovery process before applying for assistance through FEMA. The federal government website notes that you may qualify for FEMA assistance even if you have insurance. By law, FEMA cannot duplicate benefits for losses covered by your insurance, so you need to file a claim with your insurance company as soon as possible. Some agencies have conditions or limits to the amount of assistance offered. FEMA's Individuals and Household Program gives financial help or direct services to people with essential needs not met through other means. The maximum amount offered under IHP is set on an annual basis, and not everyone will qualify for the maximum amount of assistance through FEMA. So, how do you apply? Individuals and business owners in counties included in the President's Declaration who sustain losses in the designated areas can begin applying for assistance by registering online at www.disasterassistance.gov or calling 1-800-621-3362. This is also by the Office of Texas Governor Greg Abbott advised. Now remember, this also may apply to some other states nearby. You'll have to check into your own state if you had winter storms bad enough. This also, going forward, is good information to know because this happens for other natural disasters, as we said, hurricanes, earthquakes, forest fires in California, all sorts of different things. So it is good to know that the federal government will step up and give you guys additional stimulus if something like this happens to you or a family member in the future. As you probably know by now, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the $1.9 trillion stimulus check bill early Saturday morning at 2 a.m. in the morning. And it will now go to the Senate to where everything is really going to be decided on the stimulus checks, the stimulus package, and the $15 an hour minimum wage, which is in jeopardy at this particular moment. There's also kind of some new information I'll show you here in a quick second about how the Senate could possibly be changing some rules. The Senate is going to be changing probably parts of this bill, most likely the $15 an hour minimum wage. I have some brand new information on that I'll get to in a second also. But also that they could be changing some provisions on the $1,400 stimulus checks. So yeah, this is a big article that came out today. As you can see here, the Senate could change who gets the $1,400 stimulus payments and make other revisions to the stimulus bill. I don't really expect them to change much, if anything, on the actual $1,400 stimulus check portion. That's pretty much good to go. But it is a little concerning to see headlines like this morning popping up out of nowhere. So yeah, it is something that could happen, and I don't really expect them to change much, but I will be keeping you updated on this as well as the latest developments. As you can see here from this article, but the bill will emerge from the Senate will be different than the one sent to the House chamber. Some senators have already discussed making changes, and there will be other amendments as the bill winds its way through various committees, just as it did in the House. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says this is democracy in action. We know the bill will look different on the way out. Now, if they do edit anything in the bill, probably the minimum wage provision for sure. I'll go over that here in a quick second. But if they edit anything, if they amend it, change it, if they take the minimum wage out, if they change the amount to the minimum wage to $10 or $11 to make a compromise, they will then have to send it back to the U.S. House of Representatives to vote on it again. Remember, they have to vote yes on the exact same bill to pass it into law. But really, the Senate is kind of all that matters now because whatever the Senate passes, they're going to send it over to the House with the minor changes. And the House is either going to, we've seen this in the past on the other stimulus bills, they'll either vote on it the very same day or the very next day. So at most, it'll be like a 12-hour delay. Don't be too concerned about that. I see some people in the comments are all concerned about that. That's not what to be concerned about. What to be concerned about is what is going to be the final details that the Senate passes. The Senate is going to pass this bill. The question is, what is going to be the final details of it? Are they, and really the main issue here is the $15 an hour minimum wage. The House passed it with the $15 an hour minimum wage in there. However, the Senate parliamentarian has ruled that the minimum wage cannot be passed with the budget reconciliation process, which is the process they're using to pass this stimulus check bill. And it's the process they need to do because there's no Republicans voting yes for this bill. When it passed the House, 219 Democrats voted yes, 2 Democrats voted no, and there was 212 no votes. 210 of them were Republicans. Not a single Republican voted yes on this third stimulus package bill at all. So not a single Republican in the whole country voted yes on this bill. And we're expecting the exact same thing in the Senate. So they have to abide by these special rules called the budget reconciliation rules and pass the package through the reconciliation process with a reconciliation card. And to do that, you need 51 votes in the Senate, which is 50 Democrats. And then a tiebreaker vote goes to the Vice President, Kamala Harris, to get that 51st vote. And that's why every single vote will matter in the Senate. And that's why they have to keep all the Democrats together and make it so that they'll all vote yes. And we know that Democratic Senators Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema do not want the $15 an hour minimum wage in there. And that kind of brings us to this. The Senate Democrats are apparently planning to drop the minimum wage plan in the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill. Now, this is a brand new story that came out late last night. If I believe I covered it in my 11 p.m. video. New information is literally coming out on this by the hour. And basically, the Democrats are potentially considering dropping the $15 an hour minimum wage completely from this bill. Now, this will make a lot of people very upset. This will make a lot of people very happy. The minimum wage is a very controversial bill, but I would say that this is not set in stone yet. So I think that they're still kind of working out the details and the plans of what to do. But they may have had to do this because they may have simply talked to Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema, and they basically may have said to them behind closed doors, "We don't want it in the bill. We're not going to vote for the package if the minimum wage is in there. We'll work on that afterwards as a standalone bill." So if they don't include this in the third stimulus check package, the minimum wage raise provision, they'll probably work on this right after they pass this bill when the dust settles, along with the $10,000 of student loan forgiveness and possibly the $200 per month of Social Security increases. They're going to finish the package first before they start working on those next things. But those next things will be probably the very next things that they start working on. Now, here's the thing about the minimum wage is that raising the minimum wage will affect over 30 million workers in the United States. And most people agree that there should be a minimum wage increase. We have not seen a federal minimum wage increase since 2009. So it's been quite a while. The differences come with how much should it be. The Republican counter proposal is for $10 an hour. That would still be about a 50% increase from the current $7.25 minimum wage federally. Now, the federal minimum wage is the bare minimum that any state can offer. States can offer more, and a lot of states do, about half the country. But this would increase the minimum wage, if from the Republican point of view, to at least $10 an hour. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia said that he'd be willing to do $11 an hour for his state of West Virginia, which basically shows where he's at for also the federal guidelines. But the Democrats, or most of the Democrats, want a $15 an hour minimum wage, which more than doubles the federal minimum wage of $7.25 right now. However, as you can see here, it does not go up immediately. Well, it goes up immediately by about $2.25 if this ends up being the actual wording in the bill. We'll go to $7.25 to $9.50 if they go by this previous proposal that they had. So minimum wage would instantly go up by $2.25. But by 2025 would go up to $15 an hour. So it does go up by about $1 or $2 per year until we get to 15 per hour in 2025, which is more than double than what it is now here at the beginning of 2021. So in 4 years, the minimum wage would double from 2021 to 2025. We also see that tipped wages and youth wages and 14C wages would get to $15 an hour by 2025 or 2026 around, depending on where it is. So restaurant servers would literally go from $2.13 per hour. I actually used to be a restaurant server back in the day, and I made $2.13 an hour plus tip also. They would now go all the way up to the federal minimum wage if this bill passes in this form of $15 an hour plus tips. Now, the thing is, though, is if they have to take this bill out, which it's starting to look that way. Okay, again, this is not confirmed 100% yet, but we're starting to see articles and murmurs and rumors that they might be taking it out. And again, that might be because they talked to Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema behind closed doors, and they're saying, we're not going to vote for it in this package, possibly. Okay, so they might be taking it out. If they do, I expect that this will be probably one of the first bills they try to pass right after. However, I highly doubt that they'll be able to pass it at $15 an hour. It's almost certainty that they won't be able to pass it at 50. If they can't pass it now at 15 an hour in the bill with bundled in with another 100 things, they're not going to be able to pass it at 15 an hour as a standalone bill. There's just not support for it. What they will be able to do is probably pass it at $10 an hour or maybe 11 at the most, where we have a Republican counter proposal from Mitt Romney and Tom Cotton for $10 an hour, which is about a 50% increase from where it is now at $7.25. So that is probably what I expect will happen afterwards. Again, there's over 30 or 40 million people that currently work on minimum wage, and this alone would be a 50% increase with them, which is still pretty good. If you went and asked your boss right now today, hey, can I get a 50% increase? They'd probably say, yeah, right, bro. Like, get out of here. I mean, you know how it is when you go and ask your employee for a raise. You're lucky if you get like a quarter or 50 cents or something. Let me know if you get annual raises at your job, how much they normally are. Are they a percentage, or are they like a dollar amount? Let me know down below in the comments, because I know that they're not much. But a 50% raise is still very significant, even though it's not double the current minimum wage. 50% increase, in my opinion, is still a very good raise. You always have the opportunity to go to other jobs and other careers, of course, but this is just for minimum wage type jobs. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. The Senate is expected to vote on it this week. I will be keeping you updated as soon as I hear when they're going to vote on it. If the $15 an hour minimum wage is going to be in there, are they going to change something with the wording of the checks? Anything along those lines. I will be keeping you updated on all those different things. Remember, the Senate can change anything at this point. So that's kind of really where the details are what matters. And I will keep you updated on all the details. Make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free. It just kind of makes it so you're more able to see the videos. You'll get recommended the videos more. Click the bell icon to all notifications so you get a notification when videos go out as kind of like a reminder. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You probably need to adjust it if you're not Eastern Standard Time. Just subtract an hour or 2 or 3 or something like that. So, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.